How often do you transport heavy loads across our state? Chances are, not very. The majority of drivers don't come anywhere near weight restrictions when riding our many interstates, state highways, and bridges, but everyone is affected by changing bridge load ratings. TDOT is responsible for the inspection of over 20,000 publicly owned bridges across the state. There are thousands across Tennessee, all with varying designs and weight capacities. When some of our oldest bridges were built, they certainly didn't have today's trucks in mind, and as time has gone on, even your standard school bus has increased in weight by 50%. Today's vehicles are more time and cost-effective, but they can cause difficulties for communities with aging infrastructure assets. Federal laws and regulations dictate how much weight a bridge can safely carry, but this isn't uniform across the board. As bridges age and see heavier traffic than they were designed for, it can cause safety concerns and manifest as a lower bridge load rating to ensure that the structure is not overcome by the significant weight crossing over it. Heavier loads cause more damage to Tennessee's roads and bridges. Weight is consistently one of the most impactful elements to infrastructure. The heavier the vehicle, the more damage it does to our assets. Again, for the average Tennessean, this won't have much effect on their everyday life, but for the average trucker, this can cause significant delays in delivery time. So what kinds of vehicles do the most damage? Well, it depends on what's being carried, how much is being carried, how many axles that load is distributed between, and even how many of these vehicles there are. It's complicated, and might just take a structural engineer to explain.
Let's take a delivery truck. If one truck is filled with bowling balls, it will be significantly heavier than the same kind of truck filled with basketballs. Similarly, if you have that same delivery truck with basketballs next to a semi-truck filled with basketballs, while it might be the same material, there's more of it in the semi-truck, so the semi-truck will be heavier.
This makes sense, but now you might be asking yourself, what do axles have anything to do with this?
Remember that one time you fell asleep in physics class? Well, let me give you a recap of what happened. Federal bridge law governs how much weight can be carried on a single axle at one time. If we have the exact same number and type of basketballs filling both a semi-truck and a dump truck, neither load might be heavier than the other by volume or by weight, but one creates significantly more stress on a structure because of the distribution of that weight. The further each axle is spaced, the more evenly distributed the weight is throughout the vehicle. The more weight is distributed, the less stress is put on the bridge when a vehicle drives over it.
But why is this important now? As vehicles have become heavier over time, and the number of vehicles using Tennessee's bridges has increased, design standards have changed to take heavier vehicles and more traffic into account.
Both weight and the number of vehicles here are very important factors in what we engineers call state of good repair, which really is just how we measure the condition of our assets. An older bridge in good condition can safely carry heavier, more modern trucks, but the more trucks there are, the more stress is put on a structure. Like how we talked about before with axles, the more stress you put on a structure, the more careful you have to be with it, and the more maintenance has to go into it to keep it in an acceptable state of good repair.
Inspections occur across the state daily to ensure our assets are safe, and where necessary, our team makes maintenance recommendations and recommends weight restrictions while keeping the safety of all Tennesseans in mind. While these instances are few, and TDOT uses every means available to keep a bridge in service, with our aging infrastructure, this will occur more and more frequently, especially in communities with older bridges. When regulations change, safety is always top of mind. But sometimes that can mean what might have once passed an inspection yesterday may not today. TDOT is committed to helping local communities look for creative ways to keep our network intact. From recommending repairs on local routes, to identifying detours, to minimize disruptions on our major routes, to working with our elected officials, to ensure sustainable transportation funding is identified to keep our state of good repair at the high level Tennesseans expect and deserve. Bridges are complicated. That's why we have structural engineers. But understanding the importance of connectivity for all Tennesseans is simple. And that's why we're asking you to build with us.